So hi everyone, how are you doing all? Welcome to my next lecture of C programming in my channel Fitness Nerd. In the last lecture we have taken the hello world example. I tried to explain you some detail of each and every line written in that code. Okay, so then I give some example of header files like stdio.h where I explain you about some scanf and printf function. So today's lecture we will be using that printf and scanf function more specifically. Okay, and also remember the table which I have shown you one of my slide in the last lecture about format specifier. So we will also work on some format specifier in this lecture. Okay, so I will show you some good example of coding explanation that I have given in the last lecture. Okay, you will learn many things. You will be applying the theory that I have explained in the last lecture practically here. Okay, that's my motive here. So listen to me very carefully. Okay, I will do a live coding session. Okay, so that you will understand everything through my coding. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, let me create a new empty file here. Okay, then save the file. I have told you why I'm saving this file earlier. Okay, in the third lecture I guess. Okay, let me name it as lecture 5. So let's begin our code now. First of all, we include header file as you all know. In include stdio standard io dot h. Okay, now we will start our function here. Okay, so let me write our program. First of all, I will be adding two number. Okay, I will be showing you here addition of two number. I will make a program to add two number. Okay, I will be showing you 3 to 4 ways of coding a same code. Okay, let's begin. First, I have told you about data type in the last lecture. I have very well explained. So hope it's all clear what I am writing here. Means what type of data type we want here. We want to add two number. So what type of number it is? It cannot be character based, so you cannot use char. It will be integer based. So just for now only focus on integer type. Okay, the two addition of two numbers can also take place between float. I know what you're thinking, but let's limit our discussion to the integer part only. Okay, I will be declaring two variable like a variable. You can declare multiple variable of same type in a single line in a C code. Okay, let me show you. Suppose this is the line a and b. This is two lines a comma b comma. Once all the variables are separated by commas. Okay, so how can you do it? Let me put a as 2 and b as 3. Okay, let's add these two number. Let me declare one more variable. Because we are adding two number and now we have to store it in another number. Okay, let's declare one more number. Let's keep it simple. Now save the number a plus b. Okay, notice that in every end of every statement, these are called statement, we are using semicolon. Okay, semicolon is called termination of code in C. Okay, remember that semicolon. We always use semicolon after every single statement. Okay, so I am using here single semicolon here. So now print the function. How we will print the output in our screen by using printf. Okay, I hope you know that. I have discussed in the last lecture how we will able to put the output in our screen. Okay, so we will be using printf. So what if you remember the data I have given you? If you remember the last lecture, I have provided you format specifier, which I was also discussing in starting of this lecture. So you will be what type of format specifier you will be using here. Remember that we are here to find the sum of two number, that is int a and b. Okay, notice the data type of the variable, that is integer. Okay, so we will be using percentile d here. Okay, comma. Now we want to display the sum. In which variable sum is stored? Is it in a or is it in b or is it in s? So you can see here it is in s variable. Okay, s here. So we will be writing s. Now our code is complete. Now save the file and run, build and run. I have told you in 2 lecture ago that build and run and run, difference between build and run and run. Run means directly run. Build and run means it will compile the file then run the file. Okay, so let me build and run it. Okay, you can see the output. Okay, see it, 5, as you can see. Got it? How we done that? Okay, moving on now. So we have seen one way of adding two number here. Now the problem arises here is that for this is not a dynamic way of writing a code. Okay, we have to suppose I am using a 2 and 3. Many students here think that why not you are using 5 and 6, or why not you any random number. Okay, so you might get the cons of this problem, that this is static allocation of memory, assigning A, B. So it's not a very good way coding. Coding what is the main purpose of coding? To make human effort easier. Okay, in this case it is not become easier. Every time he want to add more number, he have to come here and change these values. It's not a very good thing to do. So now we will use our scanf function, which is also described in this stdio.h. okay, if you remember from last lecture. So we will be using scanf here, okay, instead of taking the numbers from the user. Okay, rest will remain same. Okay, let me show you this. So let me erase it first. So now we will take input from the user. So how we will take input from the user? We will use scanf here. So first of all, make it some more user friendly and more dynamic. Suppose print a message in the screen to let the user gives two numbers as an input. Okay, how we will do that? We will be using here printf also. Okay, just watch it. Printf, enter the first number. Okay, so the first number will be A. So where we will store it? In A. So we have to define scanf here. Scanf. What's the syntax of scanf? Okay, so hello, we want the user to enter from his keyboard, that is integer value. Okay, so we will be using %d here. Okay, and also in which variable we are storing the value which is entered by the user, that is in variable A. So we will specify this ampersand A. What is this symbol? You are seeing for the first time. This is ampersand. Okay, this means get the value from the user into the variable A. Okay, we are getting it. Okay, if you are not getting it, let me give you some analogy here. Okay, so what the code scanf do here? Okay, let me show you. Suppose this is our RAM. Okay, so it will have many slot. This is one slot, this is second slot, and this is, suppose there are 4 slot of memory. Okay, now this is your code. Okay, your code here. Your code here. Okay, there are first I have written the header file, then I used the void main function, then declared some variable here. Now after that I have defined scanf here. Okay, so I have defined scanf here, and I have written bunch of code. So whenever you write scanf, and suppose we have declared here two variable, A comma B, and sum also, S also, 3 variable. Okay, A comma B comma S. Okay, so suppose this is the space provided for our code. Whenever the variables are declared, whenever variable declared, there is space created inside our RAM. Okay, in a RAM, space for this variable will be created. Okay, like let me show you. Suppose this is for variable A, this is for variable A, this is for variable B, this is for variable S. Okay, So let me write it. This is for A, this is for B, this is for S. Okay, three variables are created. When this variable are created, you know, when this file, first of all, this is what, .c file. .c file will be converted into compiled file. This is, suppose this is the compiled file. Okay, and this compiled file again get converted to .exe file, executable file. Okay, now this code we have written, it is saved in secondary memory, means our hard disk. Okay, now whenever the code is compiled, this is the compiled file, so it is also in the secondary memory. Okay, now when this executable file, suppose now this is converted to .exe file, this executable file to run in our system have to be put in the RAM. Okay, here RAM, suppose this space is allocated for our program by our operating system. Okay, so moving on, so this will have some address. Okay, just suppose 232 something. Okay, suppose this L had address 232. Okay, now first of all, this whenever the code is executable mode, the processor, our processor, that is CPU will call our GCC compiler. It will include header file from the file where it is written. Okay, suppose this is a header file, so it will include the header file in our file, include it. Then it will declare the variable. Whenever the variable is declared, the memory is allocated in the RAM of the system. Okay, suppose this have address 10, memory address 10, it have given bit number 10. Then this one, it has given bit number, suppose 20, and it is given bit number 30. Okay, you are getting it. So what will happen now? So declared, this variable declared, and whenever the scanf is called, remember we have used ampersand sign here. Okay, ampersand, like this. What this ampersand sign mean? It mean go to this variable address. What is this variable address? Suppose our variable is A. What is the address? Its address is 10. Okay, whenever user entered the value, suppose it entered the value 4. Okay, so 4 will be stored in this variable. Okay, in this variable 4 will be stored. Okay, similarly, suppose the user entered the variable here 6 here, so for this variable stored is 6. Now the summation will perform in the actually in the registers. Okay, I'm not supposed to go in detail in this lecture. This is actually part of memory management in operating system or compiler design subject. Oh, if I made separate video on that lecture, I will give you some more detail about this. Okay, take it as a naive way which I am saying here. Okay, so now 4 and 6 are stored. Now the summation will perform 4 plus 6. Okay, and the value will store. What will be its value? It will be equal to 10. Okay, so 10 will be stored in this variable. Okay, you are getting my point. This will happen in our whole code. Okay, hope you get it. So now we come back original code here. Okay, you get it what I try to make you understand there. So now we want the user to enter the second number. Enter the second number. Okay, where we will put this second number in variable variable B, percentile D, ampersand bin address of B. Okay, I made you clear this in few minutes ago. Okay, so we will take the value from user and we will store the value as a sum in variable S, and we will display this. Okay, using printf. We will display this using printf. So let's run this code. So let me enter 65 and the second number is 78. It's give the result 143. Okay, so is it clear now? Okay, so this was the code for first two number. I have show you here how the space is allocated in variables, and also I have given you the format of using the scanf. Okay, so practice more and more, practice this code yourself. Okay, you will learn more about this, and you will the more concept will cemented in your mind. Okay, practice more and more till you get the full understanding of this code. Okay, so now moving on, I have shown you two ways of writing the code. Okay, there can be many ways. Please show me your own way in my comment section. So now to cut it short, this takes 4 line here. Okay, so much tedious. We in coding we optimize the code. So how we optimize this code? Let me show you now. Let me erase this. All the logic will remain same. Let me erase this one. So now we will take the input in a same line by the user. Okay, let me show you how to do it. Printf enter both the numbers. Enter both the numbers now, and now we will take the numbers together, and where we will store this number in variable a comma b. Okay, there must be comma here. Okay, so this is the syntax. For one thing I am telling you here that this is redundant part. Okay, in few seconds I will show you that this is redundant part. Okay, it is returning here in along with printf. Okay, so moving on. So where we will store the numbers in a comma b. So what type of variable we are using? Integer. So we will mention the percentile d here, percentile d comma space percentile d. Why? Because we are storing two variable at the same time. Don't think that the same space will allocated for both of them. Space will be allocated differently. We are just writing it in a custard way. Okay, nothing changed in the system byte, just our code is changed. Okay, so where will we store address of a and address of b? This is used to get the address of symbol. Okay, I have shown you. So now let me run it. So suppose we are entering 12 comma 34. Okay, we have to store now two numbers at the same time. If you enter 12, it will wait for till we enter the second number. Okay, so the output is 46. Okay, you can see that. So now I have shown you that we can cut short the code, but the result remain the same. So I have also told you that these are redundant. Let me show you. Let me erase this thing. Let me see is it working or not. Okay, save the file. Is already save it, then run it. Okay, now entering two numbers. Okay, still it's working. See the sum and 90. Okay, so this was what I am talking about. This is the redundant part. Hope you get this. Okay, now moving on. Let me erase this all this. Hope you get. Okay, also for your sake you can modify this code too. Suppose we want to find if you want to find a difference of two number, we will use subtraction sign here. If you want to find a product of two number, we use multiplication sign here. And if you want to find the quotient of two number, we write the division operator here. Okay, so in this way we can create our own calculator. After few lecture I will show you, after I discussed with you about the loops and conditional statement, I will come into this code again, and I will try to teach you how to make this code in a one go. Means all operated in same thing like basic calculator. So moving on. Now let me show you some temperature division here, code of temperature here, to to work with floating point number, to show you how to work with floating point number in a. Okay, let me erase it all. Let me write some code which will show you how to store the number in floating point variable. Okay, so in the next lesson I will show you how to use character type variable, that is percentile c. Okay, char data type, how to work with char data type. Here I am shown you earlier about the int data type. Now I will show you about the float data type. Okay, so we want to write a code made a thermometer that convert the Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, so let me take two variable here, floating type variable, float var comma cell. Okay, var for Fahrenheit and c for Celsius. Okay, So let me take input from the user. What we will take input from the user here, that is temperature in Fahrenheit. Okay, enter temperature in Fahrenheit. Okay, I will store this number in scanf created own variable. What type of format specifier I will be using here. Okay, I have shown you in the last lecture that percentile f is for floating point number. Okay, so we will percentile f here. F comma where we want to store in the far variable. Okay, so write it far here. Now if you remember the formula, what is the formula? 5 by 9 into f minus 32, if you remember the formula. Okay, so 5 into far minus 32. So notice that I didn't mentioning the floating point here. Okay, did forget to mention about the decimal point after the number, integer number. It will automatically take it 32.000. How much, you know, its precision maybe. Okay, f minus 32 whole divided by 9. Okay, so remember the formula. Now printf this number, printf this Celsius value. Percentile f will be there and the value will be stored in, value will show the cell 1. Value will show the cell 1. Okay, let me save the file, then run it now. Okay, now enter the Fahrenheit scale. You know 212 degree Fahrenheit equal to 100 degree centigrade. Okay, let me show you there. Okay, so see, it is returning 100 into decimal point 0.000012345660. Okay, it is depend on precision. Suppose now how to control this precision means, suppose you want to only display two zeros here. Okay, so how will do this? Let me show you. So just write here 0.2f means it will display till 2 decimal place, two precision place after that number. Okay, save it and run it. So now again I write 212. Now see, the precision is same na, change na. So in this way you can change it. Okay, hope you get my point. So hope you get everything clear here. I try to use what I have taught you in the last lecture in a practical way, and I only work on integer and floating point data. In the next lecture I will show you how to work on character type data. Okay, thank you for watching.